After 6.5 years, I think I've finally figured out the key to getting an ex back, and it doesn't have anything to do with what you say or what you do. Hey, I'm Chris Sider, founder of Ex-Boyfriend Recovery, and today we're going to be talking about the most important thing that you absolutely, positively need to do if you're going to win your ex back. But first, if you haven't already, please stop by our website, www.exboyfriendrecovery.com, and take our Ex Recovery Chances quiz. It's a simple little 2-minute quiz that I put together to help you understand what kind of chance you have of getting your ex back. So you can find that at our website, www.exboyfriendrecovery.com, or even in the description below this video. One of the greatest things about having a rather large community with quite a few success stories is you can look and see what people are doing that is working versus what people are doing that isn't working. So what is it that separates the success stories from the failures? Well, I suppose you have to go with the no contact rule. Yes, research has said around 90% of our success stories have used the no contact rule. It's not the no contact rule. A few weeks ago, I was going through our success stories and I found a really fascinating common thread. But in order to understand that common thread, you first need to undergo what I like to call a paradigm shift. What is that? Well, if you want to get technical with it, a paradigm shift is a fundamental change in approach or assumptions. Basically, you just need to look at things a different way. When I was a kid and watching sports with my dad, he said something that really stuck with me through the years. He said there's nothing more dangerous than someone with nothing to lose. So here's the paradigm shift that I want you to have. In order to get the guy, you have to be willing to lose the guy. Let me ask you a question. What is the #1 fear that you are having right now? Well, you may be worried that he'll meet another woman, that you'll lose him to someone else. You may be worried that if you do something wrong, he'll walk away from you forever. Basically, everything that you're afraid of is losing him. And that's what separates the successes from the failures. You see, the women who succeed in getting their exes back have been pushed to a point where they don't care anymore. They don't care if he doesn't respond to a text. They don't care if he doesn't reach out to them during no contact. They don't even care about getting him back. You know, it's almost comical when I am interviewing my success stories and they say some variation of the phrase, "I had just given up." And if you really think about it, if you get pushed to the edge and you just don't care anymore, everything about this process becomes much easier. With this mindset, the no contact rule, for example, becomes less about is he going to respond to me and more about what am I going to do today? And that pesky fear of other women being involved, well, it becomes less about worrying about that and more about, I wonder who I'm going to go on a date with today. Here, let's look at this in a little different way. Let's imagine that you have two versions of an identical baseball team. Same players, same skill level, same everything. Except there is one singular thing that separates these two teams. One team is on a 17-game winning streak, meaning they've won 17 games in a row, and the other team isn't. Now, these two versions of the same team are about to play in a baseball game. So here's my question for you. Which one of these teams, the 17-game win team or the not 17-game win team, is going to win this upcoming game? Now, common sense would have you put all of your money on the team that's won 17 games in a row. After all, they're the most confident team and probably have the best chance of winning, right? Well, I would argue a little differently. You see, a team that has won 17 games in a row, while is impressive, has something to lose at that point. So going into the game, this 17-game win team, instead of focusing on what they need to do to win that game, they start focusing on what they have to do to win and continue that win streak. When the first error gets made, instead of focusing on let's put that out of our mind and focus on what we have to do to beat this team, they start focusing on, I cannot believe I made that error. And things just snowball from there. Error after error after error. And because all they were thinking about is the fact that they had something to lose, they end up losing that game. See, in a weird way, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The team that has won 17 games in a row should only be focusing on keeping things one day at a time. But instead, they're focused on not losing, or what happens if I lose. And as they continue those thoughts, eventually that is the reality that comes to pass. Now let's talk about the team that wasn't on a 17-game winning streak. This team is a lot more attractive because they don't have anything to lose. They can go into the game focused on what they should be focused on. They can play loose and play like they don't have anything to lose. And as a result, they play better than the team with a 17-game winning streak and end up winning the game. So here's my ultimate point. Instead of focusing on what you've lost, realize you've lost your ex and wear that as armor. Let it be your shield. Embrace it instead of running away from it, because your life and this entire process will become so much easier at that point. So many experts out there focus on what you need to say or what you need to do, and I'll raise my hand. I've been guilty of that. But half the battle happens in here. And if you don't have this right, nothing you say or nothing you do will matter, because this, how you feel inside, how you act and help and take care of yourself is ultimately what matters the most. Remember, in order to get the guy, you have to be willing to lose the guy. Hey guys, thank you so much for getting to the end of this video. I just want to tell you how much I appreciate everything that you've done for me, and I'm going to continue pumping out great content for you. If you haven't already, stop by our website and take our free X Recovery Chances quiz. It's a simple 2-minute quiz that will tell you what kind of chance you have of getting your ex back. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be producing some of the best quality videos on getting exes back, or even just recovering from a breakup. So, I'll see you next time.